Hello, this is Darren and welcome to another fishing reel review. This is going to be on a couple modern day fishing reels, the Zebco Omega and the Pflueger Satina. These are Spincast reels. It's a little too bad weather up here in Indiana right now to be fishing, so I went down on spring break to North Carolina. I did a little fishing down there. I took my son and he had the Spincast reel. It was kind of cheap one, and it broke down on him because they just don't make really good spin casting reels anymore, or so I thought. So I went into a Gander Mountain and I told the salesperson to get me your best ultralight spin cast reel, and he came out with these two for me to decide between. And they're not really ultralight, I wouldn't think, because the one I was using before was much smaller than these. But these are the smallest made reels that are of a high quality build. They're both made in China because we can't make anything here in the United States anymore. But the quality of them both are pretty well made. Before I took them apart though, I of course tried them both out on the lake. The Pflueger did not cast very well at all. Every time you catch a fish, it would hang up on the next cast because the line would get buried. The Zebco, flawless no matter what I did to it. It has a oscillating line spool. The spool goes back and forth as you crank it to lay the line out a little more even, where the Pflueger doesn't. So that could be why it never got caught up after I had resistance on the line. So when I got back here to Indiana, I took them both apart to see just how well made they are. So you really can't appreciate how well the Zebco is made till you take apart both. Let's start with the Pflueger. The Pflueger looks really well made on the outside, all metal body. The middle part is metal. I'm not sure whether this is plastic chrome back here, but I don't think that matters. Push button is plastic, and the handle is plastic, and the drag wheel is plastic. Everything else is metal until you take it apart. Then the whole body is plastic, with the pillow blocks that hold the bearing being metal on the outside part of that. But what turned me off most about this one is the white main gear. It had a brass worm gear, but the main gear was white metal, which is to me just a no-no for any fishing reel. Most of the old vintage reels that Johnson made, and even the Shakespeare Wonder Reel, they're all cheap pot metal gears casted instead of cut. So it's kind of hard to find a good spin casting reel made today. It just was not ever made until today, until I found and discovered what this Omega is inside. The Omega, let's finish up with the Pflueger first though. The Pflueger did have dual pin pickups. It looked like titanium nitrate, but they were held in with a plastic mechanism there that held them. So I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up with abuse. It looks like the guide eyelet is made out of titanium nitrate coating, but it has a left and a right hand handle, so I can actually use it. I'm right-handed, but all my reels have a left-hand retrieve, so that way I don't have to take my hand off of the rod when I cast. I just simply make the cast and start cranking to reset the reel. So other than that, bad casting, it seems well made for the money. This is about $20 more. So let's start off what I liked and didn't like about the Omega. I didn't think, when he brought out Zebco, I was like, oh man, that's just a cheap tin can is what that is. But then I took it apart and had a feel. I felt this thing in my hand and said, yeah, you may be right. This may be the best out there. He said he's sold more of these than anything, and I can see why. Very, very well made. Grew up with a 202 Zebco. That was my first reel, and I graduated to a 33. But compared to this, the 33 is just a tin can full of white cheap gears. Inside this, it has all brass gears. They're cut gears. Very well made. Everything is machined out of aluminum. It's got a forging center body with the machining. Everything is metal except for there's a nylon piece in the center. It looks like the drag or the spool slides on. Both come with an extra spool Zebco has an extra spool, and the one that came on it was, of course, filled with the Cajun line 6-pound test, and so far that's worked out well for me. The Zebco has the dual pin pickup. Those pins are solid ceramic. There's no separation between the pin and the actual mechanism, so it's all one piece ceramic. Also has a ceramic line guide in the spun aluminum cone. The cone looks very well made. It's thick, machined out spun aluminum. The handle is a double handle, and of course is reversible for left or right, so I can actually use it. The drag wheel is aluminum, and when you pull the back cover off, it's got a nice little rubber push button. That's the only thing actually I didn't like about it, is this push button. It felt kind of flimsy when you're pressing on it, and I couldn't get used to casting with it. It just kind of like felt uneven. If you didn't have your thumb right dead center, it would like turn left or right on you. Give me an uneasy feeling, but got used to it, and I understand why they did it that way. It's so it keeps dirt and sand out of the mechanism. But the back, even this back part, looks like it's a casting or a forging of aluminum. Very well made. You can hear just the quality of this thing. Just nice quality as you're cranking it. One-way bearings on both of them, but by far this was the better reel. And it also, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, I think the Omega Series Zebco is the best Spincast fishing reel out on the market today. I would put this up against any reel out there. I know that most people are saying, I got the Garcia 1276, it's saltwater approved, but it's got a white gear in it also. So this is the only reel I've found so far that has all brass gears. It'd be nice if it had bronze gears, but brass good enough for me. So all in all, very pleased with the workmanship and quality of this. This is, I'm going to say, the #1 reel. They make two sizes, the ZO2, which is the smallest, and the ZO3, which is the most popular size. I think it'll take like 12-pound test or more. With the ceramic pickup pins, I believe this will work with braided line, so I'm going to try it, the extra spool they gave me, and put braided line on it and see what it'll do. But all in all, very pleased with the Zebco Omega. Not so much with the Fluger. It's all right, I guess, for the money, but just it can't hold a candle to the Zebco. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.